friends. Dean here with Escape to Gaming. It's been a while since I've done a video. It's nice to finally come back and be able to do a follow-up to some of my other videos. This is one I've been wanting to do, a game room tour, which I'm almost done with the garage. I've just been finishing a lot of cleaning. In fact, after today, I'm going to be doing some work out there and cleaning the garage floors and just finalizing some of the details. I've got to go through the games and kind of organize them a little bit better, but it's almost done, and I'll show that soon. But I had an influx unexpectedly of a lot of really nice gifts, and I need to dedicate a video just to showcasing and showing these wonderful, very generous gifts that I was given from a variety of friends. And then I'd have a small pickups video where I picked up a few things as well the last couple of weeks. So thanks for being patient with my channel. I'm trying to do weekly videos, but sometimes I'm just get real tired. I've been working a lot of hours and kind of around the clock. Unfortunately we've had a lot of unexpected people passing away, and that left like 8 units that opened up overnight that I had to go in and try to paint. And then we use another subcontractor as well to try to stay on top of all this. So it's been extremely hectic and busy, and I wanted to make this video last weekend and just couldn't get to it. So thank you for your patience. But anyway, I'll get into a couple of them here. My good friend Phil from Scottsdale, Arizona, and we've sent gifts back and forth. I'll get a bunch of extra games. Hey Phil, do you have these games? No, I don't. Would you like them? And I'll send them to him. And he offered me 4 Xbox One games. He bought like a lot of games, to where a bunch of them came in a box, and few for this system, few for that. And there were some Xbox One games. I don't know if he has an Xbox One or not. Maybe that was why he didn't want it. He had like 4 games he offered me. He goes, Dean, do you want any of these? I said, well, 2 of them. Yeah, I'll take 2 of them. So, and that's Wolfenstein 2, which I already have, obviously, for the PlayStation 4, that I pre-ordered and got a lot of good incentives with it. But it's nice to have for the Xbox as well. I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind having this, for the Xbox One X or the Series X, which I'll be getting down the road. So this one, and the Remedy game Control. So even though I'm not thrilled about the female protagonist, it looks like a very cool game, interesting game. The DLC looks quite good too. So I've watched a few reviews of this and was quite impressed with it. Remedy does really good special effects and particle effects, and they're really the ones that came up with the whole bullet time, Max Payne thing. So they got that slow-mo thing down and the incredible particle effects and lighting, and it's quite impressive. So I want to give both of these a chance. Wolfenstein 2, I'm anxious to play. I want to finish the Old Blood first before playing it, and then I'll play that one. But New Order, I loved, devoured that. That was a great game. Next, my good friend Justin from Tennessee, he sent me a variety of games just recently, and I was like, dude, you've done more than enough. I'm very thankful, thank you. And he insisted on, he goes, look, I got store credit, I got nothing else to do. I will pick you up a few things. I saw your list and saw some of the things you're going after. So Justin, thank you very much. These are like over the top. You really didn't have to do this. It's very thoughtful of you. Someone that's considered, that kind of knows what I'm going after, has paid attention to my channel for a while, and knows I've been looking. Here we have like one good, I was there yesterday, our VIP game store in Boise, and that's it. And there's another newer store in the next neighboring town over I haven't tried out yet. It's a smaller store, and there was another store in Nampa as well that I checked out, very small, but they had a couple games, including a Super NES box game that I finally picked up, Wing Commander, which I had for the Super NES. But anyway, getting on with Justin's wonderful gifts. He sent me, he knows that I've been looking, even though I have the digital version, he got me a really inexpensive copy of Batman Arkham Knight for the PlayStation 4. So thank you, Justin. This is something I've really wanted for my collection. Now I finally have a physical copy of all the Batman games. I think I'm waiting for one more to come in from Jeremy, which has been sitting there. I just got to pay him for the shipping, and he's going to send it out. He knew I was looking for the Uncharted games, which again, I used to have all 3 of them and then foolishly get rid of them. Oh, I got the new PlayStation 4 remastered. I don't need these. But now, come to think of it, just in case down the road I can't play something on the PlayStation 4, if they pulled a plug and it literally you can't play it offline, it's kind of nice to have the original. So he sent me Uncharted Drake's Fortune, the first one, Greatest Hits. It doesn't bother me in the least. And Uncharted 2 Greatest Hits, complete with the manuals and very clean disc. Justin, thank you so much for these. This is wonderful to have these back in my collection. I've also just recently got all of the strategy guides for the Uncharted series, all 4 of them. I had Uncharted 4 I pre-ordered, but it's nice to have them all for my collection. It means a lot to me. Thanks, bud. But that's not enough. He knows I've been looking for the Jade Empire for 5 years, and I used to see tons of copies of this at one time, and for whatever reason, I just hadn't checked it out yet. But once I realized it was a BioWare game, and it's a really good, very well done RPG, and one of the really good looking, handsome games on the original Xbox, and that's Jade Empire. This is a treat. This is a holy grail I've been going after. I used to see like 5 copies of this at my Dimple stores years ago, but I didn't know enough about it. And I do like a lot of the Orient, things from China and Japan. I'm fascinated with their culture. It's very intrigued with Oriental cultures. They're just very steep in major history, and there's a lot of interesting things. And I like the martial arts in this too. From watching several retro reviews of this, this looks really good. And I certainly have the KOTOR Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 games, which are made by BioWare as well. So, Justin, this is... I mean, if you had just sent me this and not all those other games, I would have been so thankful. So very generous of you. He knew I wanted all 3 of the Mass Effect games. I said, don't go overboard, and he did it anyway. He got me all 3 of the, and clean copies. He goes out of his way to find not just copies of the games, Mass Effect 2 and 3. All 3 of them complete, excellent quality disc. It's so nice. So I can download all of these on my Xbox One X and get the modern, up-to-date versions of them, the digital versions of all 3. So thank you for these Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 games. Very, very wonderful. Now I got them in the right order. The anal retentive, OCD thing. This is one I already have for the PlayStation 3, but he knows I've been wanting it. I don't think it's backwards compatible. I'm pretty sure it's not. And that's Ridge Racer Unbound. He actually had 2 copies of this. He said, dude, you want the other copy I've got? And I said, oh, dude, this is when I looked for the Xbox 360 copy for like 5-6 years now and couldn't find it. I used to see it at Dimples, and then when I went to look for it naturally, it wasn't available. But I did find a PlayStation 3 copy and have it, thank God. So another wonderful game. Very generous of you, Justin. Thanks for this. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you asked me about this because this is one that I really wanted to upgrade for my Xbox 360 library. And then he knows I've been looking for the Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum games. Both these I never had, but I've wanted them. And I have the remastered versions of them, Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight, which I think look great. So he sent me this. This is a Game of the Year edition of Batman Arkham Asylum. Wow. So I have Arkham Asylum. Oh, maybe the last time he gave me Arkham City. I think that's it. So now I have all of them, and then my friend Jeremy is going to ship me Arkham Origins, which he found for me graciously. So I just got to catch up with him. He's got me a couple limited run games. He's got an order. I got to pay him for those. I've got to pay him for the shipping for this next box. This is some strategy guys, just a handful of games, but they're kind of holy grailish, So very cool to have this back in the collection where it belongs. I think this has some DLC, and it's in 3D too, so I can play this on my 3D TV once I hook my other Xbox 360 up to that. And he sent me this, which I didn't ask for, but it's very thoughtful of him because I have the Dishonored game I pre-ordered, and I even have the tarot cards that came with it. I've got them out on my game room. But he sent me the Game of the Year edition, which obviously has all the DLC. So this is very, very nice. Justin, thank you very much for this. Very thoughtful of you. So, and you'll see this again soon, which I'll show in a minute. And then he had a friend that had some strategy guides who didn't want him anymore. He said, Dean, I wish he had both guides, but at least he's got one of them. Would you be interested in the Batman or Arkham City strategy guide? I said, oh, hell yes. I'd love to have that. That's actually right on my list of guides to get. So he sent me, the cover was like a little warped or bent. I've straightened it out and I put some weight on it. But it's a wonderful, the Brady Games copy of Arkham City strategy guide. So it's wonderful. I love strategy guides, as you guys know. And this one's just filled with great, levels and concept art and everything about the game that you could want to know is in one wonderful strategy guide. So thank you very much for that, Justin. Very kind of you. So those are the games from Justin. He's a fairly new viewer from Tennessee. He's been following my channel for a while. He's been enjoying it. He's kind of a workaholic like me. He's been putting in a lot of hours. He's tired. He's got a family as well. And he tries to squeeze in the gaming when he can. Lately he's been real tired like I am. So pardon my hoarse voice and tiredness. Let me have a sip of my Diet Pepsi here. A little caffeine going. And then lastly, I've got a new friend who's been following the channel for a little while, several months now. But he finally reached out to me via email, and we've been talking back and forth. And his name is Kyle. He's got a channel with like 204,000 subscribers. Let me see how many it has. Let me see. It's called, I don't know how this is pronounced, but it's spelled Kmack Time. And I think he's got, geez, 204,000 subscribers. That's like 10 times more than I have. He's got over 1,000 videos. For whatever reason, he hasn't made a video, it looks like, in 5 years. But it's a really well-produced channel. He's got some very good stuff in it. I'll leave a link to in the descriptions to his channel. Certainly check it out. It says cartoon conspiracy theories, gaming news, and everything geek-related. Sounds like my kind of channel. Got a lot of Rick and Morty videos and gaming pickups and stuff like that. So, thank you, Kyle, for this guy like went nuts. He sent me a list. He said, Dean, I had games I bought years ago, literally for $1, $2, $3 a piece. Some of them are kind of scratched up. Some are missing manuals, but I've got like duplicates, 2, 3 copies of each. If any of these appeal to you, I mean, really, honestly, just please take them. And he sent me a picture of a whole bunch of, I mean, tons of games. And I'm kind of selective. I went through and picked out a lot of the ones I liked, really racing games and stuff like that. Some of these, and unfortunately the box that he shipped them in, I thought he packaged it well, but it got damaged. Some of these cases got crushed on some really nice games. I mean, bad. And I'll just show this real quick. These are the pieces of the Xbox, one of the 2-disc Xbox 360s. It's like crumbling and falling down around. I got like 5 pieces of it here, and then certainly what's left of the case. So it's unfortunate, you know, that happened, and I'm sorry, Kyle, that I didn't arrive in perfect condition. The discs are fine, everything's fine with that, and I had some extra cases, so it's not the end of the world. But most of the discs are in great shape. There's a handful, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6. There's like 7 discs that are scratched. Some of them are lightly scratched. I'm gonna have them resurfaced. I think there's a guy in town that does it. I'm gonna check into that. I'll have them resurfaced. If they play fine, great. If they don't, I can replace them. It's not big of a deal. He had a couple loose discs. One of them is a game that I actually played. I played the 1999 version and this version, and that's for the PlayStation 1, the 2000 NASCAR game from EA. And then a game that I already have is Test Drive 5 for the PlayStation 1. Great game. I love all the, and I have all of the Test Drive 1 through 5 for the PlayStation 1. They're all wonderful games. So those, he sent me a few PlayStation 1 games that he knew that I wanted, asked me about a couple of them. Tomb Raider Chronicles, this one's been on my list. I need Tomb Raider Revelations and I think Tomb Raider 3, and then I think I have them all, I believe. There's like 5 or 6 PlayStation 1 Tomb Raider games, but I'm going after all of them. Eventually, maybe the guides down the road if I've got the time and the money resources, but we'll see how long I live to allow me to live long enough to get guides for everything. But this is a game this is a greatest hits version of a game that I had when it was brand new. The week it came out, a customer of mine, who was a kid, I was painting a kid's room with this elaborate, beautiful mural of the like Laguna Beach sunset with the surf breaking up and just beautiful sky that I had painted. I've got some great pictures of it. And then the rest of the room I did like a really interesting faux finish and gave it kind of a theme. And the kid was so happy with it. They were kind of rich kids down in Orange County, and a mom paid, you know, like $1,600, $2,000 for the mural for the room. So I've been paid more than enough, but the kid said, no, Dean, I wanted to send you this. I heard you're a gamer, and yeah, I don't know how you like snowboarding games, but he sent me the Cool Borders 2. This is a greatest hits version of it. So this game was very special to me because it came from a customer that really valued what I did for him and went out of his way, even though he certainly didn't have to. His mother had paid me more than enough but sent me this gift. So this was very touching to get this. Thank you, Kyle, for this. This is very cool. In fact, I'm going after all of the cool borders. I think there's 1 through 4, I believe. And then my game store has cool borders 1 and 3 for sure, which I may go back and get. They're kind of pricey at $6.99, but I would like to have them. Tomb Raider Chronicles, I got that one. Let me put these over here so I know they're out of the way. And then this one I've never heard of before, and it's called Streak Hoverboard Racing. This looks really good for the PlayStation 1. Adrenaline Uncut, reject the tyranny of gravity, and embrace the future of board sports. So it looks like it's an intro. You can do like 2-player split screen of it. It looks really good. Great, and these are discs are in great shape. They've got the manuals, and here's a Rogue Trip, a little ad for Rogue Trip, which is one of my favorite games from the studios that made the Twisted Metal and Jet Moto series. This one looks very cool. I'm very happy with this, Kyle. This is a real treat. I wasn't expecting this. These all had stickers on them. I removed all the stickers with my rubber cement thinner trick. In fact, my friend Jeremy is about to do a video on there using the same thing he learned from me with the rubber cement thinner. I'm going to leave a link to it below. Are you tired of stickers on your game cases? Some of these had stickers on the artwork themselves and on the jewel case. With this stuff, it safely removes them. It will not damage the printed materials and labels on cartridges or on, the paper inserts that are on games. Sometimes they'll put like old yellow GameStop stickers will be on the artwork itself that's inside of like a game case. And then there'll be times where it's on the little vinyl case as well. So this stuff removes it safely without damaging or hazing anything. It was designed by graphic designers for removing old Scotch tape on photographs. It removes any adhesive, but it's a solvent, but it's very mild, so it will not damage delicate emulsion on photographs. It won't damage litho printed artwork like this, or certainly not cases where if you took some nail polish, yeah, it'll take the sticker off, but it will haze the plastic to where it's dull, and it can eat up. My God, you don't want to use that in printed material. And people use, I use goof off and this stuff. I mean, technically it'll work, but you will damage artwork. So I'll leave a link to that video below. I need to do a more updated version of that. I've been actually went out and tried to buy a bunch of games, but the stickers came off too easy to where it didn't really warrant using that stuff. But I'll leave a link to it because stickers are god-awful. And a lot of people, even metal users, will leave a lot of stickers on there. I need to get these off if I can. Maddie, who has... Mr. Matty or whatever, he does a collaborative podcasts with Carrot at ACG quite often. He's got a wonderful channel too. He's got Retro Rebound, a new little retro channel he started. He's slowly kind of a little late, but he's kind of collecting PlayStation 2 and Xbox games and stuff like that as well. And he's like, God, I hate these stickers, these damn GameStop stickers. And I'm like yelling at him through the screen. I'm like writing in the comments, dude, look, here's the solution here. And I like spelled it all, get this, and I put in quotes, Bestine rubber cement thinner. It's the only way that works. And he apparently never read the comment because, he still is like bitching about the stickers and he can't get them off. And it's like, so that's why I have this video that I made. And it's got a lot of views. A lot of people have liked it. Just sticker removals, for games. It's a only safe way to do it. All the other people, the tricks, I use this thinner, nail polish remover, and gasoline, and I've heard everything, and goof off and this stuff. All of those things will damage one form or another of either the artwork and or the jewel cases or the little vinyl clear plastic cases in like in a PlayStation 2 or original Xbox game. But anyway, getting back to the ADD. Oh, look, a squirrel. Getting off target. He sent me Crime Killer. This is a great... very cool looking game. I watched some gameplay of this and I'm like shocked that I had never known about this. This is very cool. So thank you, Kyle, for this. This is quite a treat. From Interplay too. Did a lot of, the early, I have this game. I remember buying this the day it came out, Powerboat Racing. I still have it today. Another great game. So thank you, Kyle, for the PlayStation 1 games. He sent me one new PlayStation 4 game, and it's factory sealed. We got to do with that. Unfortunately, I don't have my knife here to open it, so I'll open it later off camera. But you've seen me open enough of these, and that's Doom 3 VR Edition for the PlayStation 4. So this is wonderful, factory sealed. Nice to have this. you need a VR headset. I still haven't got the PlayStation VR yet. Once I get the PlayStation 5, I'm going to go after the newer, upgraded version of that, which then I'm anxious to dive into. And I have quite a few games that have both. You can play them normally on the PlayStation 4, 4 Pro, or you can play them on the PSVR setup. So eventually I want to get into the VR thing. I just can only afford so much right now. So thank you very much for this, Kyle. This is very welcome. Sent me 2 guides. One I had, I think I have. All right, but one version of it, and then another one I don't have. So he sent me the guide for Tomb Raider 3. This is one of the games I need to get. So I'm very happy with this. I love these old Tomb Raider guides. I wouldn't mind getting at least the guide for 1 and 2 as well. But I'll get those down the road. But thank you very much for this, Kyle. It's very cool. I don't know if he had these laying around or something or what. And then he sent me this, the Godfather the Game. I'm pretty sure I have this guide. I might have a special version of this guide that's for this upgraded version. I don't know. But I remember having this guide when I had my original Xbox game, and God, did I love this game. I played so many hours in it. Yeah, it even still has the map, which hasn't been torn out yet. Huge map that you can go through the whole world of Lost Heaven or whatever the hell it's called, or Old New York, I guess. This is a great guide. It's just filled with beautiful artwork and maps and everything. It's just very, very cool. Just all of the levels, getting through each level. Very, very nice. Thank you, Kyle, for this. So I think I've got now 2 versions of this Godfather the Game strategy guide. So if that's not enough, so there's a lot of games here. I'll quickly get through them. He knew that I wanted this one. This one has some scratches. I'm going to try to get them out. I think it has the manual too. Yeah, it has the manual, and that's Killzone 2. And it's wonderful. I've been wanting this for the longest time. I can't find it to save my life locally. It's got the manual, the disc. The disc has some scratches on it, but I'm going to resurface those and get them taken care of. I've been wanting this for the longest time. Thank you, Kyle. Very, very nice of you to get this. Is a holy grail, by the way. I have the other Killzone 2 and 3, but it's nice to have the original in the PlayStation 2. This one has my name all over it for a racer, and that's a DT racer, Dean Thompson. I've never played this. I've seen this for years in the game store, and I meant to pick it up, and I'm always, well, here, I'll get these. I'll get that one later, and then I never get it. So it's nice to have it. Thank you for this. This one's in great shape, too. This is one that looks really nice. This case was damaged, but I got another DVD or PlayStation 2 case and swapped it out. And that's for the PlayStation 2 Racing Italiano with Alfa Romeo. I love Alfa Romeo. It's one of my favorite European car manufacturers. I always wanted one when I was younger. Good thing I didn't get one because I probably couldn't afford to stay on top of the maintenance of it. These things have some reliability issues, but they're very special cars and very cool. So I thank you. This is a very cool game. Thank you, Kyle, for this. This is one I've been wanting for a while, finally. Gran Turismo 4. Another great game. Nice to have in the collection. This one looked interesting. I chose it. He actually had a list of pictures of just tons and tons of games. But I thought I'd check this one out. Super Trucks Racing, where they're racing like big rigs. Very cool. I'm dying to try this. This looks like my kind of game. Some heavy metal action. And here's another one I've seen and wanted for the longest time. Sprint Cars 2 Showdown at Eldora. Really nice looking artwork on the cover, and I love the artwork on the back. It really goes over every aspect of the type of dirt track racing, which is very popular. When I lived in Fresno up in Madera Speedway, they did a lot of that racing, and I'd go up there and race. In fact, I had a chance to do racing myself up there. For a friend of mine wanted me to drive his car because he knows I'm a good driver. I'm like, dude, I'm afraid I'll wreck it in one race, and then I'll owe you for the car. So another one. This is one that I had never seen, but I love Suzuki bikes. I learned to ride on I think it was an RM 125 Suzuki when I was younger, back in the late 70s. But this is Suzuki TT Superbikes for the PlayStation 2. This one has I put post-it notes in the back, so those are the ones I get to resurface, but they're great games. Here's one that is another kind of a holy grail that I have. Or maybe I think I have this one for the original Xbox, but not for the PlayStation 2, and that's the original Flat Out game. Many of you know for arcade racing, the Flat Out is one of my favorite series. I love it to death. It's really good physics, great graphics. I think Bugbear Entertainment, yeah, Bugbear. You see on the front down there, they did the graphics, did the all the dev work on it. Really good destruction derby, racing. Little guy can launch through the windshield, when he hits shit. It's really cool. And these are some Ford ones. I've seen these series and I meant to get them years ago. I just never got them. Ford moves or Bold Moves Street Racing from Ford. So they've got a GT500 Shelby Mustang out there. I raced one of these in my black 74 Z28. We were going like 134 miles an hour on the freeway, and this guy's like pulling away from me at like 155 in this thing. But he would get a big kick when we finally caught up with slower traffic. He gave me a big thumbs up. We both had huge smiles on our faces. I had a killer flat black 74 Z28 Camaro with a killer 350 in it. And it gave this guy a run for its money. It stayed with him for a while, but I mean, he had the top end. Once that blower kicked in, he was just like pulling away from me at 135, and he's doing like 155, 160, but very cool. So thanks for this, Kyle. Ford Racing 2, and I just need to get the first one, and then there's a Ford Racing 3. So these are all wonderful PlayStation 2 games. I've seen them for the longest time and meant to get them in my collection for sure. These over here, and there's more, if you can believe it. This one is a couple of these are, like 3 of these are huge holy grails. I'm very, very happy with these. This one especially, we've been talking about that cat game recently that I've been playing that just came out. I'm really enjoying it. Stray. It's just a wonderful game. I was thinking, I wonder if there what other cat games, and this has been on my list for a while. This is more of a cartoony cat, but that's the Blinks, the Time Sweeper. This is becoming expensive. This game is getting hard to find. What's a shame is that they just had Blinks 2, the second one. I think it might have been missing the manual. I can't remember. It was at my game store, and I said, well, I'll wait for one with a manual. I should have bought it because these games are going up in price big time. They're really popular and getting very, very cool. So this looks like a great little, what is it, a platformer? First 4D action game ever on the original Xbox. There's the back packaging on it. Very, very cool. Little Microsoft Studios, So thank you, Kyle, for this. This is a major holy grail. This one is another huge holy grail. Now, I have the upgraded Xbox 360 version of this, but I had to have the original one on the Xbox for sure. And that's Flat Out 2. Now, it's called the Flat Out Ultimate Carnage on the Xbox 360. Basically, it's an identical game because I played this game first, this version of it, on my original Xbox and loved it. Back when the 360 was out, and I just couldn't find a 360. Kind of like today, you couldn't get them. And when you did have them, people were fighting over them. I'm not going to get knifed over a new 360 Elite. So I waited till 2009 before getting my 360. And then I upgraded and discovered that Ultimate Carnage version, which has more particle effects, a little bit more tires and debris on the tracks. Otherwise, it's identical car-wise and everything. But this is a great game. This is, guys, if you're collecting for the PlayStation 2 or original Xbox or both, get this one and try it. It's the best arcade racer, I think, on the original Xbox, Flat Out 2. Very cool. I love the graphics of the car, just cornholing off the track. It's pretty cool. Siberia. This is one that I had never played. I think it's like a photographic kind of a game. Like really like lots of still pictures. Kind of like Myst, I think. I'm not sure. But it looks good. It looks really, really well done and kind of more of an artistic game or approach to a game. So I'm anxious to watch some reviews of this and play it. It definitely looked good. This is another holy grail. I couldn't find to save my life. I used to see these all the time, and then all of a sudden for years, 6, 7 years now, I couldn't find it. And that's the Atari Anthology. So this one's got a little post-it note. I got to polish the discount on this one. But this is a nice game. I think it has the manual. Yeah, it has the manual and everything in this one. So another nice one. All of these Xbox games came with the manuals, which is nice. Some of the PlayStation 2 ones, a couple didn't, but all of the original Atari goodness. And I have more of these, like I have them for, a lot of the other arcade systems. They got a lot of these for the original Xbox arcade collections, which I love. This one, now I have the Xbox 360 version of this, but I forgot that this was a multi-plat, that it was also in the original Xbox, and I love the series to death from Avalanche Studios, and that's a Just Cause game for the original Xbox. Now, again, I got the upgraded version of this, kind of like the Godfather you can get on either the original Xbox or the 360, or Need for Speed Most Wanted, the same. You can get it on either system, either on the original Xbox or the 360. Same apparently with Just Cause. So this is a great game. The second one I like is even better, I think, than the third. Second one's my favorite of all of them. Kind of like Dirt. The Dirt 2 is the best, and the other 3 and 4 are, okay, they're marginal. This game I already had. You didn't know that, but thank you, Kyle. This is a very clean copy of it, and that's a game Gunmetal. Another very cool game for the original Xbox. Here's a GameCube game that I didn't have. It's always nice having a GameCube game, especially a good racer, and that's 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. This is a great game. I believe I have this for the original Xbox or the PlayStation 2. I'm not sure. One of them. Joy the Convoy. Look at the great graphics in this. I love this, all that chrome graphics and very arcadey. My kind of game. I love these. Oh wow, it even has the manual. I love these GameCube games. This is a genuine treat, Kyle. Thank you so much for this. Very, very nice of you. Now, the rest of them are Xbox 360 games that he got for me. This, I believe, is the one, yeah, it is, with a broken case. It got damaged, sadly, because this one even has a cardboard slipcover. This one's just like the one that Justin got me. So between the two of them, I can at least get one complete set, because this one has a slipcover where the other one didn't. Yeah, here's the case. I mean, look at this. It just got completely destroyed. And I got all the chunks of it are on the table over here. It's just, it is what it is. But thank you. This is very much for this, Kyle. This is a wonderful greatest hits. Or I mean, the kind of the Game of the Year edition probably has all the DLC and everything. And I really like the slipcover. It's very nice. I like to keep those on the games. So I got that. Now I just picked up a copy of Dead Island, actually, which I'll show in my pickups video. And I didn't know that he was sending this. But this is a special edition of Dead Island, which I was like, wow, I'd never seen this cover. Maybe I did and I just forget it. My memory's not the greatest lately, but special edition. I don't know what makes it a special edition. Maybe it has some DLC baked into it, I'm not sure, but it looks very cool. Yeah, it's got the original, it looks like the regular manual and disc. But I love the artwork and the cover of this. So thank you, Kyle. At least I got a variant going on of this Dead Island, which is nice to have. This one was one of the first Xbox 360 games where you had to have a patch. Or if you collect more than 109 items in your inventory, it'll break the game to where you can't save anymore or something. It fucks it up big time. So I already have a digital, the fixed version, patch version. Came with Xbox Live Gold. When they first started the Games with Gold program, this is one of the first games that you got. So just in case I got the digital version, which I'm hope will work offline without the patch and all that. I think it should have the patch baked into it. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I don't think this has had the greatest reviews, but I'm very happy to have this. It's called Hour of Victory. I think it's a World War I game, I believe. Yeah, North Africa. Ensure victory, make history. It looks really good. Any of these war games, I'm a huge fan of. I love history. And especially World War I and World War II was just fascinating time. Very tough, challenging times for people on Earth to go through a world war like that. It was called a world war for a reason. Another great game. These all had stickers on them, and some of these had a lot of stickers, so I use my rubber cement thinner. It cleans them all off. You'd never know. There's no telltale signs of anything on these cases. This is the Mortal Kombat Complete Edition with a K, complete with a K. And this is backwards compatible, so I've already installed this on my Xbox One X. Very cool to have that. Here's another one that I think I already installed. This game I think I had, but this version of it came with a small Best Buy exclusive mini strategy guide inside. It came with a mini Prima strategy guide inside. You can see it right here, or no, right here. And I opened it up and it came like with a nice, really nice manual with a nice cover on it in color. And it came with a small little Prima strategy guide, which is very cool. I mean, I'd never seen this done before. And it's like real thick cardstock, beautiful in full color. Really nice. Just a very, very nice colored thing. And then it has even more. It comes with a quick startup guide. It's like a little poster with all of the, with everything, all the tanks and troops and what have you. And then there's everything on the back side. So this is like between the little strategy guide. I mean, this gives you a lot of information. And then it comes with a little plug for the Xbox 360 wireless headset, which is nice, a little slip thing. And then it also comes with, 48 hours of free Xbox Live Gold. I'm sure it's expired by now, but it's just neat to have this kind of stuff. I always love seeing this old stuff. It's nostalgic to go back and to see what was a very common thing, back in the day. And it's a really nice disc too. So thank you, Kyle, for this. This is a very clean copy of Tom Clancy's End War, which I believe, I think I bought this one recently, if I remember. It sounds very familiar. Here's one that looked good that he saw in the picture. I said, yeah, I'd like to try it out. It looks interesting. I don't know much about it. I'm going to have to watch some reviews of it. But it's called Hunted, the Demon's Forge. It looks really good. Now, this one has a little thing on it, too, so I'll have to polish a disc on this. But this looks like a really interesting game, so anxious to try it. And then if that's not enough, these are the final two games. I mean, it's funny because he sent the Dishonored game, special game of the year edition, like Justin did, and he sent both of these. God bless him. He knew I wanted these. I didn't see these coming, but he sent Mass Effect 1 and 2. So I think these ones come with 2 discs or something, where maybe the other ones Justin sent don't. I'm not sure, but between the two of them, I've got some good ones, and these will find a home with someone that needs some Mass Effect games in case I already have one of the others. So anyway, that's it for the gifts. Thank you, Kyle, very much for those. It's like over the top. I had to do a special video with Phil's games, and especially Justin's games, and all your games. It was very nice of you, Kyle. Thank you. And again, check out his channel. I'll have a link below. It's the Kmack Gaming channel, so on YouTube. So I'll have a link below for that. Now, these are just a few pickups I got. Not too many, but I'll just go over these real quick with you. This is one I've always been intrigued about. I don't know much. I think I watched one review. It looked good, and I said, I'll have to get this. And that's a Reckless, the Yakuza missions. Yakuza is like the name, the Japanese name for their mafia over there. Kind of like the Italian mob in New York, or the Mexican mafia down in Mexico. But they're the Japanese variation. They call them the Yakuza. In fact, there's a good movie with Robert Mitchum called The Yakuza. Really, I love that movie. He's an American in Japan trying to be honorable and do the right thing. It's pretty cool. But this looks really cool. It's an open world game. I'm dying to play this. This looks very, very neat. So I got that one. I have the sequel of this, but I didn't have the original AMP game, so I got a Platinum Hits version. It's a super clean game with a manual and everything. Nice to have. So now I got AMP 1 and 2 in my collection, which is nice. I think I have AMP 3 too. I believe there's an AMP 3. I think I've got it for one of the systems. Shadowrun. Now this is one that was really an online multiplayer game, but you can play it solo against bots offline. I researched that because there's a new Shadowrun, the trilogy, that you can get from I think for the Xbox and PlayStation Store, at least on the PlayStation Store. And it's kind of a little top-down isometric, real-time strategy RPG deal. But this is like a first-person version of the same characters in the game, but a FPS version of it. And you play it against bots. It looked really fascinating to me, so I had to get this, rewrite the rules of engagement. It definitely looks cool, so got that. Now this is a game I just discovered. I watched someone did a profile of the Homefront games, the original Homefront, which I bought the day it came out, pre-ordered it. And of course I've got Homefront, the Revolution. I've got that and all the DLC as well. Well, I discovered that the company that had done the original Homefront did another game that came out very close to the time that Homefront came out, and the graphics are awesome. Kind of a Battlefield clone, and it's called Frontlines Frontline's Fuel of War. And this is also backwards compatible on the One X and the Series X consoles. So, and I need to download this. I haven't downloaded it yet into the system, but it looks really good. It had like an up to 50-player multiplayer, 50-person parties you could have at a time, multiplayer, which is pretty impressive. I'm sure the multiplayer is long gone by now, but kind of competed with Battlefield. It's got a good, I think, 6 or 7 hour campaign, if I remember right. It's a THQ game, but it looks really, really good. And once I saw the reviews of this, I said, I've got to get this. It really looks good. Now, finally, I found a game. This is very kind. They had like 5 copies of this. It was like $2.99. I mean, just dirt cheap. But I got a really clean copy of Halo Reach. This completes my Halo collection. Now I have all of the Halos except for the latest new one on the Series X. But this, I've seen nothing but outstanding reviews of this. It's really held up well, I think, even today. It looks quite good. So Halo Reach, finally, now I've got all the Halos for the original Xbox and for the Xbox 360. Many of you know I'm going after all the MX versus ATV games, and I finally got Alive recently, I think in my last pickups video. Well, this is MX versus ATV Untamed. This was like an $8.50 game, and I got this for free. The owner of my VIP games, Bill, was in there. Oh, Dean, you know what? This one's on the house. He sat and he has a little buffering thing, and he was working on it for a while, and just said, this is the best I can do to get the scratches out of this one, but I know you wanted this game, and I've tried to make it, clean it up for you. I don't know if it's going to work or not, so it's free. It's on the house. He gave me an $8.50 game. He said if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know, you didn't lose anything. So I immediately took it home, and the disc looks perfect. I don't even see scratches. I don't see what he sees, but it installs, and that's the key. If you want to know if a game has any problems or if it'll down, you know, many hours into it will give you an issue, try and cleaning it, installing it on your Xbox 360. If it will install within the 10 or 12 minutes that these games typically install, that means a game will play all the way through. If it doesn't, and I had like Forza 3 I bought, and it looked like a perfect disc. There was one tiny little nick in it, but the nick was a problem and it wouldn't install, and it says there's an error, you know, clean the disc, or the disc is defective and it won't work. And so I got this anyway, MX versus ATV Untamed. I think I just have Reflex and ATV, or MX versus ATV Supercross. There's 2 more left to get for the Xbox 360, and then I'll have all of them. Here's Dead Island. Here's the original. I got the original box version of it. I think this is what I pre-ordered back in the day. I love this game to death. I still like this in some ways better than Dying Light. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's so rude to yawn. I'm so tired. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just exhausted. But I got home from church, and then my mother-in-law wanted me to go and pick up a couple rocking chairs for her at Lowe's and use my truck and drive them, you know, 30 minutes across town to her house, and we cleaned them nice. And we have keys to the house. We put them in her back patio, and we put a little end table down and cleaned them nice, so that way she can enjoy them when she gets home from her church. But we stopped and got cat food on the way home, so I'm just exhausted from errands and running errands all day yesterday too. And I still got to go out and clean the garage floor when I'm done with this. No wonder why I can't get any gaming done, or very little. I'll game for like probably an hour tonight, and that'll be it. But anyway, Dead Island. I got the original version of Dead Island. Nice to have back in the collection. I never should have got rid of it. I got the new definitive edition. Oh, I don't need this, and traded it in or gave it to someone or something. So got that. Saints Row 2. I'm very anxious. In fact, this Tuesday, just in 2 more days, this is filming this on a Sunday, the new Saints Row reboot comes out, and I've got the Notorious edition, which is a loaded edition with a lot of extras and nice packaging and posters and box art and all that stuff, and metal case, steel case, I think. But I've heard from quite a few friends of mine, Dean, you might like Saints Row 1 and 2. I don't know if you like 3 and 4, but at least try those. My friend Angel in particular said, Dean, you'll probably like it. They're really good, fun games. I never saw them, he said, as GTA ripoffs. I think they're quite good. So I had to have this. I like it. It has kind of a metallic, shimmering cover to it. Very nice artwork. Very nice game. I need to get the strategy guide for this. And I want to find a Saints Row 1 my store even said, a bill goes that my VIPs were, God, I haven't seen Saints Row 1 in a while. Used to see it all the time. Now you don't come across them very often. So people are hanging on to some of these games. Another one that I already, now this I have for the PlayStation 3, and I got it. It was dirt cheap. I mean, like $4, like $3.99, and that's Dark Sector. This looks really good. I remember at CGR, in fact, I'm wearing the Classic Game Room shirt that Mark sent me for free. At Classic Game Room, like I sent him so many. I was one of his biggest donators, next to Omar from Qatar, Mohammed from, I think it was Qatar, had sent a lot of games in as well, and I was his second biggest donator. But Mark did a great review of this, and I've seen an old review from IGN, I believe, on it too. You can, like, major gore. You can throw this spear thing and it goes through the air like a boomerang and beheads people and cuts people in half right at the torso. I mean, it's just over the top with gore and very visceral and violent. So I had the PlayStation 3 version, and now this unfortunately is not backwards compatible, but this could be another great reason to have an Xbox 360. I may have to add some of these to my Xbox 360 list. Now, Saints Row 2 is backwards compatible for sure. Dead Island wasn't. MX versus ATV Untamed is backwards compatible, as is Halo Reach. Frontlines Field of War is backwards compatible. Shadowrun I don't believe is, unfortunately. But anyway, so I got those. And then the final two games I got is, because I knew that the other ones that came in from Justin, they sent me, Uncharted 2 and 3. So yesterday I got a dirt cheap copy of, guy had like, God, 8 or 9 copies of this, like in perfect condition. Drake's Deception Uncharted 3. So now I've got all 3 Uncharted games again, thank God. And this is a game I already had. I bought this years ago because I wanted it for the Xbox 360, which is my first game. And my reason for buying an Xbox 360 Elite, which I bought the day this game came out for the 360, and that's the Wolfenstein from Raven Software, 2009. You can't even get this on PC now. And this is going up in price. This is probably my most expensive game at $14.99. It's kind of a pricey game, $15. But I had this exact same game, and I sent it to Steve Benway in the UK. And he played it and actually did a video showing some gameplay of it and loved it. Whether he probably didn't go back to it because it's not his forte, but I sent Steve Benway a couple nice gift packages with games and 9 Inch Nail t-shirts and U.S. car brochures, just so you can see what, our ostentatious car dealerships are like, and getting a new car and stuff. He loved it initially. Sadly, I'm on his shit list because of my politics. So I'm probably still banned on his channel, but I have a couple of friends and viewers I know, Mikey and other ones, that still watch him and enjoy his content. I like Steve, and I feel bad. I would love to reconnect with him someday. Maybe we can, let bygones be bygones and bury the hatch and renew our friendship. But he was one of the first gaming YouTubers I followed, and I donated a bunch of things to him because I thought the world of him, and really I still do. Wolfenstein from 2009, that's my final pickup game anyway. Just to have it, it's nice to have it, and God forbid some happens to my 360 when I'm 20 years from now, and hey, it's alright, I got my PlayStation 3, I can still play it, so hopefully I can play the PlayStation 3 offline. I mean, they had that CMOS clock thing in there that tied to your trophies. I think they've reversed that and they program it to where it's not in there, hopefully, but who the hell knows. Anyway, guys, that's my gaming stuff for right now. Just some wonderful pickups. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much, Kyle and Justin. All very magnanimous of you. Wonderful gifts. I'm very touched by it. Some of these are huge holy grails for me. I've looked for 5 to 7 years for it and not found. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And thank all of you for watching, for taking the time to watch. Many of you take the time to leave nice, kind comments, and I really appreciate the support, the heavy support I get from so many consistent, loyal viewers that like to hear for whatever reason, my raw, uncut, version of gaming news and what I think about games, especially from the past, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th gen. I love them all, and I hope to continue and get a 9th gen console soon, God willing, if I can find one, and I'll get the PlayStation 5 and a Series X. And we'll see what happens with them down the road. I may not be able to play online. I don't know, but I got to see gaming at least to the end of the console generation. So Thanks, guys. Put down in the comments of any of these games that you think that I would like. Are there any other games you think I might like that I should get that maybe aren't on my list or you haven't heard me talk about that you think that it would be up my alley? I'd love to know in the comments. Thank you so much, guys, and enjoy your games.